Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Democrats looking at shutting down to deal with Trump's overreach. On March 14th, the government funding hits a deadline. If no deal is reached, there's a shutdown. The Democratic Party appears to be gearing up to use that leverage, and they may be willing to let the funding lapse. The new tone from Democrats, who are working without control of any branch, started with a letter from the House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. The letter itself lists 9 priorities for Democrats. The first one, which is the one that matters here, says, quote, "I have made clear to House Republican leadership that any effort to steal taxpayer money from the American people, end Medicaid as we know it, or defund programs important to everyday Americans, as contemplated by the illegal White House Office of Management and Budget Order, must be choked off in the upcoming government funding bill, if not sooner." Negotiations over the fiscal year top-line numbers for the funding bill have reportedly stalled. This is literally the first step in the process. Part of the issue is Trump trying to take the power of the purse from the legislative branch. The vice chair of the Senate Appropriations Committee, Senator Patty Murray of Washington, said it was hard to reach an agreement when, quote, "The president is illegally blocking vast chunks of approved funding, when he is trying to unilaterally shutter critical agencies, and when an unelected billionaire is empowered to force his way into our government's central, highly sensitive payments system." She then went on to indicate that not being able to trust that Trump would actually implement appropriations was an issue. Senator Chris Van Hollen was a bit more blunt about it, saying, quote, "We're going to look at ways to try to confront some of these illegal actions he's taken. We will use the appropriations process to try to correct some of these outrages. This is obviously a big problem if you can't trust the president to follow the law." When it comes to mitigating the harm caused by some of Trump's executive orders, there isn't much the Democratic Party can do. But because of a slim majority in the House and the need to overcome the filibuster in the Senate, the Democratic Party can use that leverage to get concessions, especially on funding. But for this to work, the Democratic Party has to actually be willing to shut down the government. The GOP will walk into a government shutdown for just about any reason. The Democratic Party tends to be more reluctant. But in this case, they may see it as the only way of curtailing Trump's erosion of power the Constitution grants to Congress. This is definitely a situation to watch, because in a matter of days, the talk has gone from almost non-existent to nearing the point where I wouldn't be surprised if we hear a Democrat in Congress say that they're willing to force a government shutdown unless Trump stops impeding appropriated funding. This might be their only way to stop his funding freeze. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.